my Scrappy friends, welcome to the Clique Kits channel today. I am Hannah and I am going to be sharing a mixed media layout for you. I am using the Shimmers paint that is in the store, and this has some gesso in it, so you don't need to add any gesso to the background. So I'm just using some white plain cardstock. I like to use a nice smooth cardstock so I don't get too much texture, but that's just me, and it tends to be a little bit thicker. So now I'm going to be using the one paper from the collection as inspiration, and I'm going to be making my own flowers. So I'm just using some paint from my own stash, but you could also use the paint, the Shimmers paints too. I know that they have different colors. I'm not exactly sure. I know they have a pink. I should look and see what colors they have, but I know that they have a few, and you could definitely do this with this. I did find that the Shimmers paint is a little bit more see-through, or at least the yellow was. So I don't know. The flowers might have been a little bit harder. So that was the one thing that I added from my stash that was not in the kit. And so now I'm going to be drawing some leaves. And I did one leaf on the side of my mat just because I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted to do it. And I'm doing all of this free form. This is something that I've done in the past as far as like doing flowers and leaves and stuff. A lot of times I just kind of like to wing it and see what happens. The one nice thing about mixed media is that if you don't like it, you could always just redo it on another paper. So I mean, obviously if you don't want to waste your paper, you could always try it ahead of time, or you could draw with a pencil and then use that white eraser, and that would probably help. The only thing is sometimes when you have paint over top of a pencil, it's a little bit harder to get up, but you could definitely do that if you think that you can't draw. But I really like doing stuff like this. This adds something to your layout that is all you. I mean, yes, I am taking inspiration from their paper, and it's very similar, but I'm not using the same colors. I'm using similar colors, and it's not exactly the same, but it's my own version of it. And I mean, obviously, I mean, you definitely have to remember that the artists from Bella Boulevard, they do need to be recognized. These are really fun. It's a really fun type of flower that is super easy. All you do is just go around it with your paintbrush in a circle, and it's a flower. And so it's really simple. And I think something like that is something that's fun and very doable on your own pages, to create a background that looks like you spent a lot of time doing it. But really, I don't know. I think this only took me about I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes maybe to do the whole thing. I mean, I spent a lot of time going back in and adding some extra. I changed up the color green a little bit. As you can see, I added more of that more vibrant green, and then I added some of the yellow Shimmers paint into the green as well, to kind of give it that look of that you see the light and dark shades. I'm not an amazing artist, but I do like to dabble in different things. And so, you know, I mean, sometimes when you add two different colors and they're similar, but they're a little contrasting, you just get more of a pop. And that's what I wanted. And so, and I will say that Shimmers paint is super bright. It is awesome. I really love it. I can't wait to get some more. So if you can get your hands on some of that Shimmers paint, it is super, super fun. And it makes making mixed media on your layouts just like awesome. So I can't wait to use more because it is so fun, and it works really, really well with this collection, with the Bella Boulevard collection and this kit, and it just makes it just feel like, you know, this is a paper from the, you know, in my kit. It just really adds to my kit, and I can get so much more with the papers that I have. And that's something that I really like. I like to be able to know that I can make a ton of layouts with my kit and make my kit worthwhile, right? So now you're seeing me do some layers, and I don't add a ton of layers. I add a piece of that purple paper from the kit from Pink Paislee, and now I'm just, I added a doily in between that purple paper and then that paper for Bella Boulevard with the stripes, which I actually do have the names of them written down. I should probably have them out. So right now I'm just cutting apart this cut apart sheet from Bella Boulevard because I wasn't sure exactly if what pieces I was wanting to use, but I figured I'd probably use most of them in the chunks anyway. Just because I thought that I would like that for the most part. And if I wanted to layer the other side, because the other side has the half circles and the multiple colors, I figured that I probably could just use it in the sizes that they already had. So I thought about layering, as you could see, just some of the other papers, but I just really wanted to keep it really simple. I mean, you see these beautiful flowers, and there's flowers in the kit too, which I'm going to add. And I just really wanted it to go with it. So that flower paper that you see in the background and that you can see it, those are what my flowers are inspired by. And that is the Magnifique paper. And so I decided that, you know what, I should just use this as part of my background because it has so much color and it's so much fun that why not, right? And so I'm going to cut a little bit out of the middle because I want to be able to use some of this on maybe something else. I don't know, maybe I'll put some of it in, I was thinking about doing something in a traveler's notebook. I don't know, I kind of would like to do some mixed media and a traveler's notebook and maybe use it with that or something. We'll see. I mean, you could definitely cut the flowers out and actually get more for your money, you know, more bang of flowers, but that background is just so pretty. I mean, you could just frame it. It's so pretty. So I also wanted to add another doily and have more of that feminine look. So I added that, and I know I want to add something else to the layout. And so I'm pulling out my embellishment kit, and I moved it up to the top, and then I realized it just takes up too much space. So I have a pretty good sized desk, so I have a little bit of space above my layout, and then I have stuff over to the right there on my right hand side. But then I decided, why don't I take one of these clips? So one thing I did do is I cut the clip a little bit so that not the whole thing, because I felt like with the layout, it just, I didn't think I could get it to not bump up too much and like pull the paper too much. And then I also was afraid that if I did anything else on my layout, like if I thought I might want to do stitching or something, that maybe it would get in the way. But I'm not really sure at this point. So right now I'm just adding some gold thread, and this is also from my stash. I'm going to add it into a ball, and I'm going to create a little cluster there because I want to use one of those gold hearts from the embellishment pack that came in the kit. And I'm gonna use, oh, I was gonna use a staple, but I end up stapling just the thread, which is fine. It works. It actually worked out really well to do more of the the thread. That's what it's called. And then also I add a staple, and I wish I would have did just the big staples on up at the top, but I thought the little staples would look really cute, but it just wasn't, it just didn't work out that well. It kind of, I don't know, it got kind of messy because of that that page divider, just kind of that paper clip. It's because it's a thicker plastic. It actually is a pretty good plastic. So this is going to sit up out of my layout protector, and I know that, and I'm okay with that. I think that sometimes those kinds of things just add something a little bit fun to your album, but you know, you could definitely cut off the heart if you just wanted something not sticking out, or you know, or I could have cut the paper down more or something so that it was not in the way. So I decided to use one of those puffy hearts, and I thought about using another one, but it was getting to the point where I knew that I didn't want to add too much more. And I thought that just by having that one there, that really draws your eye to the photo. It really draws your eye to that little cluster, but it doesn't like overwhelm. And I felt like if I had more than one, that it would just kind of overwhelm the layout. I mean, so far it looks so pretty. It makes me want spring to come so bad. And of course, this was a beautiful afternoon when I was making this layout, and it actually started getting sunny, which is pretty rare for where I live. And so I was like, yeah. And I think that's really what I was inspired by. I don't know how you guys are, but I am so inspired by the world around me. And so if it is cold and gloomy, I want to make a layout that makes me feel like I'm cuddling up and watching a movie or reading a good book. But if it's sunny, I want to make a layout that makes me feel like spring is on the way, and I just can't wait. So this is why this brings me to my photo, which is also another big part of my layout, right? So the story behind whatever photo you pick when you start a layout is a big part of what your layout should be about, right? And so I had bought in some fresh herbs in those little pots because I want to start getting them ready, because it's starting to warm up a little bit and I want to get things getting ready so that I can plant. I have a new house this year. We just bought a new house, and so we have a nice little area for a garden, and we have some other little garden beds around our house. And so I really want to this year put out some herbs, and I want to get some other veggies and stuff that I can grow in my own yard, because I mean, I have a house. I can do that. I've never been able to like actually plant stuff in the ground at my house. We've always lived somewhere where we couldn't plant in our own yard. So we could have it like pots in our yard, but we couldn't have actual stuff. So I wanted to document this because this is the start of this journey, and it's springtime and I want to talk about spring. And so I took this picture. It's a little bright, but I really like the way that the sunlight really brings that pop of the oregano. Just, you know, up. And so I have thyme and oregano, and I named the layout fresh oregano, which you are seeing me do now. So back onto the layout, I moved it around, but I decided that ultimately I wanted it up on the top. Now, I know that this is a white on white concept. It is very hard. If you're not looking, you might not notice that the title is there, but I also did decide that it would be really cool to use I have some copper thread in my sewing machine, so I just ran it through just once through. So this will kind of draw your eye, and your eye already goes up there because it has that clip and the flowers, and I made sure I used the Puffy stickers, which is one of the add-ons, and I will make sure in the info box below that I have links to where all the add-ons are that you can find in the store, so that you can get your hands on them, because they're amazing. I mean, they really help add to this kit, and you can just get a little bit more. And I actually was surprised. I thought I was going to need a lot more stuff on my layout, and it ended up being super simple. And I really like the way that it turned out. I mean, doing the mixed media really helped in a way stretch my layout or my kit, but it really was it really just helped made my kit. I mean, I love this layout. This is like one of my favorite layouts I think that I've made this year. So of course I say that. So here are some close-ups, and you're going to see me add the date stamp, and then you're going to see in the close-ups, you're going to see my journaling. I do that after, and I just write right over top of that yellow blob. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys are super excited to dig into your kit. Make sure you get into the store and you check out all the add-ons that you want to get for your kit before it comes in, because it's going to be coming soon, and I am super excited to see what you guys create with your layout, with your April kits this year. And I will see you guys later, and have a great week. Bye.